Strategy isn't just about I'm working in my business every single day. It's about knowing why you're doing it. And it's about creating a plan that ties your actions back to the big picture vision that you have for your business and your life. Welcome to the Bold Entrepreneur Podcast. I'm your host, Jen Kinal, and this is a space where bold moves meet inspired action. Join us as we dive into stories, strategies, and mindset of those who are building their dreams, creating impactful communities, and redefining success on their terms. Whether you're looking for practical business tips, a boost of inspiration, or a community that gets your vision, you are in the right place. Get ready to elevate your journey and embrace what it means to be a bold founder. Let's dive in. Hey friends, welcome back to the Bold Entrepreneur Podcast. I'm Jen Kinal, the founder of the Bold Founders Collective, and today we are going to dive into something that has been a game changer in my business journey, and that is focusing on strategy. So let me tell you, when I say strategy, I don't mean we're creating a business plan that collects dust. This is about building a strategy that feels alive, a roadmap that connects directly to your vision and helps you make intentional moves towards your goals. In this episode, I want to get personal. I want to share what's worked for me, the lessons I've learned, sometimes the hard way, and how you can create a strategy that sets you up for long-term success. So grab a coffee and let's do this. Why exactly is strategy the backbone to business success? I'll be honest, when I first started, I really thought I had a strategy, but I really didn't. It was just a scattered collection of ideas with no real direction. Yeah, I had a business plan, but it wasn't really tied to anything tangible or actionable. It was just like, I'm going to here and I'm going to get to here. And the moment that it started to shift for me was when I realized that strategy isn't just about I'm working in my business every single day. It's about knowing why you're doing it. And it's about creating a plan that ties your actions back to the big picture vision that you have for your business and your life. So strategy really has given me clarity and focus, and it gave me a map to follow. And if you know me, you know that I love a checklist, an action plan, a roadmap. So this strategy, again, game changer. And without it, I was just busy spinning my wheels constantly, but not really going anywhere. So I hope this doesn't sound familiar to you, but it may. For my journey, we're going to go back to the early days in business. I was hustling hard and working long hours, but feeling like I wasn't making any real progress. I had set goals, but then I didn't really have a plan to reach them. And I wasn't until I basically hit a wall that I was like, okay, we need to start looking at how we're doing business here because I'm working so hard and all the time, but I'm not getting anywhere. So I started to ask myself, okay, what am I really working toward? Do I know, yeah, okay, here's my goal. Here's where I started. Here's my goal. But what specifically am I working towards? Going back to that vision of where do you want to be? Who do you want to be? What does your life look like? What are you really working toward? And then are your daily actions getting you closer to that goal? Or are you just busy working in your business and not on it? I don't want you to be doing the same thing or treading water, just trying to get somewhere. We really need to have an action plan to get us to that target goal. And then what do you need to move or to change in order to move forward? So if you're just basically running your business every single day, but you're not moving the needle, we need to stop that. We need to look back and we need to figure out exactly what do we need to do in our business so that we can move the needle, so that we can get to that target goal at the end of the day. These questions honestly really forced me to look at my business. It's forced me to look at my pricing, my offerings, my ideal clients, and even my day-to-day schedule. And let me tell you that the clarity that came from doing this work and realizing that I didn't really have an actual A to Z plan. It was just I'll get there. I'll just work really, really hard and I'll get there. So that is where the strategy really came in, and I stopped wasting time on things that didn't matter and started focusing on things that actually moved the needle. So we're going to start this off by really talking about some pitfalls that come with strategic planning. So of course it doesn't just come overnight, and there's always going to be trial and error when it comes to it, but this is why I'm helping you get past all those pitfalls by sharing some of the things that I've learned. One, doing too much all at once. This is absolutely me to the core. I used to think that being busy was a sign of success. You'd ask me, oh, how's business going? I'm like, oh, good, we're so busy. We have so much going on. Like, it was just like such a badge of pride that I would wear. And really, it's not about that. Doing too much all at once doesn't mean that you're getting more done. It just means that you're doing too much and you're spreading yourself too thin. And if you actually focused on the targets and the goals that you wanted to grow your business, you would get so much more done than just doing it all. Another thing is I really don't want you to start thinking about like the tactics, but then not understanding where they're going. So I don't want you to get caught up in the how to do things and forget to ask why you're doing it. I've been like, previous me would have listened to thousands of podcasts and been like, okay, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this. And I would have all these strategies in place, but why? Like, what is my end goal? If I'm doing this strategy, what do I want from it that goes towards that end goal? So I really want you to start thinking, why am I doing this? And is it necessary? And then another one is, are you being too rigid? The perfectionist in me is like, yep. Life is going to throw you curveballs and it's going to change up your strategy. It's just the way it is. And I want you to be really like open to it, because the best things that have happened in my business have been because I had to shift and pivot and change my strategy. So be open and flexible to changing things up to see if something more incredible comes out of it. And typically, in my experience, it has, as long as you're willing to give it a shot. So here's what I've learned about creating a strategy that actually works. I really want you to align your vision and your mission. So we need to have your strategy, but it needs to reflect what your vision is, what your future is for yourself, what you really want to create in your business, that mission you really want to create. Does it feel aligned? And if it doesn't feel aligned, then it's not the right plan. I also want you to be very specific and create measurable goals. Forget vague goals like grow my business. I want you to get really clear on what you want. So if it's a revenue target, what exactly is that revenue target? Is it a new product launch? What is the new product and when is it going to launch? And how many things do you want to sell? Like, get really specific. If you want more free time, like how are you planning on doing that? I love to play pickleball on Fridays. So how am I going to make time in my business so that I can do that? And the measurable action of that will be, I got to play pickleball on Fridays. So think about how you can really take it and be specific about it, but also make it something measurable so you can like say, yes, I did this and here is my result. And then I want you to break it into actionable steps. So this is kind of all tied all together, but this is where the magic happens. You take your big goal and you map out your steps from there. And then you consistently, each and every day, work baby steps on those goals, because when you work slowly on them or even fast on them, you're putting yourselves to that end goal target that you really want to get to. So one of my favorite examples of being flexible in business when it comes to your vision and your strategy is the Be Bold experience. So this is an event that I planned originally. I wanted it to be this big event. I had this amazing venue that had the capacity. I had space for a stage. It was going to be all designed with couches and flowers and all the things. And sometimes it just doesn't work out that way. And so I decided that, you know what, I'm going to shift this event. I'm going to make it more intimate. We're going to toss the stage. We're going to toss the expensive furniture. We're going to make it way more intimate. So a smaller group without having a stage means that our speakers got to like mingle more in the group. The group got to talk so much more together. We got to do things like we had everybody write on a piece of paper their things that they're throwing away for this year, or their struggles or their fears, and we went out to the fireplace and we burned them, which is so incredible. But if we had a larger scale event, that would never have happened because it would have just been impossible. So sometimes when you're open to those flexible pivots and changes, something more incredible happens. It was such a success that I'm already into planning the next one, and I'm going to make sure that it's still small and personal. So I don't want you to think as flexibility as a weakness. It is 100% a superpower. Some of my biggest breakthroughs in my business have come from adjusting my strategy when things didn't go as planned. And don't forget the importance of feedback. Whether it's from clients, mentors, or your own reflections, I really want you to take the feedback that you're getting and use it as an incredible tool for refining and improving your strategy. I also want you to look at leveraging your community for your strategy development. If there's one thing that I cannot recommend enough, it's finding a supportive community. The Bold Founders Collective has been such a powerful source of inspiration and growth for me. When you're in a room of like-minded women and entrepreneurs, you can gain fresh perspectives and ideas. Sometimes just a single conversation can unlock a solution that you've been stuck on for weeks. So use the community around you to ask questions, to get ideas, to get inspiration, and allow that to come into your strategy. Even asking how other people are doing their business can help you understand how you can grow your business and build your strategy from there. So before you get all into your strategic planning, I wanted to give you some of my favorite tools. One is a brain dump. You'll probably hear me say this and have heard me say this multiple times, but just write everything down. I don't care if you think that something's dumb or it'll never happen. Write it all down. When you just completely empty your brain of all your thoughts and ideas, you're able to create a vision. You can see your financial goals, your offerings, your big dreams. You can really start to see what your values are, what your dreams are, and start to map those out. Then I'd like you to reverse engineer it. Start with your end goal and then work backwards to where you are now. This will give you a really clear roadmap to see like exactly here's where I am and here's where I want to go, and here are the steps in between to get you there. That's the strategy part of it that I love because I like a good checklist. So definitely reverse engineer. Then I want you to start tracking your progress. So keep tabs on what you're working on, how it's going. Be flexible with it. Don't worry if it doesn't exactly work out, because again, amazing things come from our pivots and our changes and our shifts. So have some fun with it. Track it to see where you're going. Track it to see if you need any shifts. Track it to celebrate yourself when you're getting closer to your goals. And then also share with your community, because then they can help cheer you on and support you along the way. So a couple key takeaways that I want you to take from this episode is that a strong strategy aligns with your vision. You can set clear priorities and it includes actionable steps. Be flexible. It's essential. Don't be afraid of a pivot and adjust when needed. And then surround yourself with supportive community that can elevate your strategy and your success. Thank you so much for tuning into this episode of the Bold Entrepreneur Podcast. I hope you're walking away with some information and practical steps to create a strategy for your long-term success. Remember, strategy isn't just a roadmap, it's a foundation for everything you want to achieve. Take some time to create what feels aligned, refine it as you go, and let it guide you towards your biggest goals. Until next time, stay bold, keep dreaming big, and go make it happen. Thank you so much for joining us on this episode of the Bold Entrepreneur Podcast. I hope you're walking away with inspiration, fresh insights, and a few takeaways to fuel your journey. If this episode resonated with you, please subscribe, leave a review, and share it with other bold founders and entrepreneurs in your circle. And when you're ready to elevate your business, check out the Bold Founders Collective. From community support to strategic resources and personalized coaching, we are here to help you thrive. Remember, the bold moves you make today will shape the future you're dreaming of. So stay tuned for our next episode where we'll dive into deeper stories of strategies and mindset shifts that all make the difference. Until next time, stay bold, keep dreaming, and keep moving towards what lights you up.